Last time on D&D, you guys fought a giant sandworm thing and some mephits, and conveniently didn't die after some recalculations of damage.
I have vague memories of a past life where I died in that very scenario.
We were fine.
I had big memories of past life where all of us died immediately.
Only like half the party was downed.
So as
From full health.
the ash cloud clears, Barrick will slowly ride back up to you guys on his horse. Be like, "Is everyone all right?"
No.
All right,
I
is
mean,
a
the worm
strong
isn't.
word. We're alive.
Great. I should have led with that. Yeah. So everyone is alive then.
Yes.
Ah, wonderful. Well, that
Has
was quite the harrowing experience.
How far do we have to go to get
I-
out of this wasteland?
Probably another, like, well, by nightfall we should reach the base of the mountains. So the start of, Borealis territory.
When the ash settles, has the cart sustained any damage?
No. The cart
I-
was
no.
a significant distance behind you guys. Like the cart is like coming up over a sand dune. As as you guys see, looking back towards the south. And Eric just kind of looks around at all of you and is like, "Well, as long as all of you are alive, I'm not going to ask any questions."
That's probably for the best.
And we're gonna if you guys want to rest a bit, I totally understand. We don't have to start hoofing it right away,
Oh.
but I do want to keep moving.
Yes.
But you don't have to like.
Let's
I
take a
see.
quick-
We can
1
take a
hour
quick
break.
8-hour nap.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
1
also is
hour.
like, yeah, he's
1
also
hour.
like, yeah, he's also like, you know, our travel is gonna be kind of slowed significantly without the horses.
What
we have
happened
one
to your
horse.
guys' horses?
Looking
I don't
around
know.
at the indescript piles of ash.
I'm just saying, I kept mine.
You did.
Well, I suppose. You know, if we have an hour, give me a minute. Maybe I can try something. And he kind of like when the cart gets up to you guys, you know, he has it stop or whatever, and he like the back folds down, kind of like a pickup truck, like tailgate, you know. And he does that, and he's like, so, and he like, there's like just some. He pulls out like some wooden stuff, and he's like, you know, maybe if I put on this, and there's like pieces of like sheet metal and stuff like that in the back, along with his big invention thing or whatever that's covered up, and he's like, you know, I might be able to add some like effectively quote unquote benches onto the side of the wagon. I just gotta rivet these on here real quick.
What's
You have
pulling
fun.
the wagon?
There's like sheet metal. There's there's oxen are pulling the wagon. There's 4 oxen pulling the wagon.
Oh, 4 of them. Okay.
Yeah.
As if this was like being pulled by a single workhorse. Adding this many people to it might be a problem.
My impression is that he's got some sort of heavy-duty invention in there.
Yes,
Mhm.
he does, which
But,
is quite
yeah,
heavy.
4
but like,
oxen
it's not.
should be fine.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah, he basically puts the tailgate down and then puts like 2 boards kind of at an angle to kind of give it like support, so like a person or 2 could sit on the back of it without it, falling down. And then takes the sheet metal or whatever, and then basically he asks Mr. Swordman, sir, Hide, was it? And he just kind of like turns like, yes, like, can I borrow that sword for a second?
Surely there has to be a less important weapon.
You've
No,
got
let
me
her cook.
suicidal.
Or can you cut this sheet metal in half?
That's better.
Hide's like,
You were going to use
Fine.
his sword to cut sheet metal in half yourself?
well, I mean, I figured if you guys gonna rest, I mean, I can do it. It's just he's
You
like,
can
I'll do
cut
it.
metal in half using metal. And, like, no mechanical advantages.
Well, that obviously, just from looking at that sword, has probably a sharper edge than most weapons, I presume, and also it seems to have some sort of like acidic coating to it. I guess you guys didn't notice that, but I did.
We were a little busy at the time.
Yeah, sure. And Hide's like, fine. And he'll go over and basically they do that, and he'll help cut it or whatever. And yeah, as you can see, as it goes through it, like there's like, as the blade slides through the metal, there's like this like, I don't know, acidic effect or whatever as it does it. So it kind of like, burns the edges of it as it cuts through. And he's like, great. That'll be good. That the like slightly melted edges there won't be quite as sharp. So I'll put that on the outside so you guys don't cut the back of your legs on it. If you're, so he while you guys are taking your short rest, he's fixing the cart so more people can sit on it.
What a time to enter chat.
Yeah. Since all the horses are dead, Varric is since you just got here, Tim, Varric has added some extra seating to around the cart, with some sheet metal and planks of wood and stuff that were in the back.
Cool.
So yeah. So after your short rest, feel free to roll your hit dice and do your stuff.
Where is everyone? I can't see. Samus, how much health do you have?
35 out of 63.
I might, in this in this period of time, since everyone's so low, I think I'll cast a prayer of healing.
You should have enough health hit dice to basically restore all of your hit points.
I mean, you can prayer of healing if you want to. What should I do?
This is essentially additional healing for most people, if not everyone. But yeah, I guess it's just depends on how much health people were gonna end at. But it looks like. I guess I'll wait for them to apply it first. I'll spend. This should be a D10. It keeps saying 4. I'll do 3 first.
Do you do for your prayer of healing? Is there like, is it like verbal or somatic for like the spell?
Oh, right. That's a good question.
It is
It's-
a 10-minute verbal
it's-
ritual,
Verbal.
It's-
and you have to stay within 30 feet of all of the targets.
So you spend 10 minutes just yelling into the sky, or
Yeah, just be like, man, I really hope
Yeah,
everyone is okay.
I don't see why you think it's suspicious. He's just standing there with his arms straight up, screaming, "I am using healing magic" for 10 minutes straight.
I said nothing of the sort.
I'm using healing.
oh, he's just
Oh,
yelling.
that's the incantation. I am using healing magic. I am using healing magic. I am using.
I just imagine he's yelling justice into the sky, pointing his hands straight up for 10 minutes.
It's just 10 minutes of affirmations.
Yes.
I am darkness. I am the night. I am Batman.
Well, actually, looking at everyone's health, I wanted to wait until we rolled hit dice first. And looking at everyone's health, it looks like everyone's okay. Some people are just not even going to need healing. So, I'll hold on to it.
Hey Sam,
Mm-hmm.
can you change my token to tie the health bar to the green resource instead of the red resource?
Yes. Me. Oh, yeah, it is here, isn't it? HP. 60. Eh. Wait, you want the green? You want the green?
I want it to be the green and not the red.
HP. Save.
Okay, so then let's do.
Can you also make it visible to the rest of us while you're in there?
Yes. C. Visible to everyone. Save.
Can you make the red
Oh.
one not be my HP?
Oh, is it still set to it?
It was having both be it. Because I like to have the HP bar be over the other bars, which I
Yes.
guess no one else can see. But I am tracking my charge state in a secondary resource bar.
None.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Yay.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, his health is green. Why does his health get to be green?
Because you jelly.
Mine's green because I keep changing my token, and so Sam hasn't set up a default token, and so I just put it in myself every time. Which, fair.
Yeah,
Understandable.
If I ever
yeah,
decide
so-
to stop changing my token, I'll tell Sam about it, and then probably he'll fix it. But as things stand, there's no point.
Yes. So you guys take your short rest. You travel. So you guys will get to the base of the mountains like a little bit after sunset. And there are no other sandworms or things that
That's good.
attack you. Yeah. So you guys get you get to the basically, you're at the base of the mountains, and relative time you guys would probably take your long rest. And Varric says yep, it's going to be a bit slow going up the mountain, but assuming, the weather cooperates, we can go down through a valley, and then on the other side of the valley, we just kind of exit out going east towards the Defender City. And it shouldn't be that long of a journey. Just Tim, how long of a journey should this be? Going
To Defender City?
from
Straight there?
here. Yeah.
You guys are gonna have to go through the mountains, so it'll be with a cart, without horses.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna suck.
Skill issue.
Slower than it would normally be if you take the cart and Varric. If you take the cart and Varric, it's probably gonna be about 3 weeks. If you just walk, I'd say it'll probably take you about a week and a half.
Well, we're riding
Is
on the
that
carriage.
slow?
Well, it's just that carriage doesn't have any horses, and you have to
It
move
has
the
4
carriage.
oxen.
Pulled by 4 oxen.
Oh, I thought you said that they died. My bad.
No,
No.
our
Our horses
horses
died.
died.
Yeah.
They're not pushing the cart.
Understood. Okay, then a week and a
About
half.
a week and a half. Okay, a week and a half.
I was under the impression that there were no oxen drawing the carriage that Varric wanted to take, and I'm like, well, that's gonna suck.
That would be a very silly idea.
I think Varric, if there were no oxen, I think he might just cut his losses and be like, well, I think.
I mean,
it's
if
probably
there was
better-
no oxen from that explosion, there might not be any cart either.
Yeah, that's true.
We owe them their deposit back.
Yes.
So does this mean we don't get paid?
Pretty much.
Yes.
Yes! Just distressed.
All right. So, sure. While you guys are getting camp or whatever set up for the evening, it's actually really quiet out here, just like at the bottom of the mountains at the edge of this barren wasteland. It's just, I don't know, it's just kind of nice to have a moment, a moment of just quiet. But
We regained sanity.
sure.
You didn't lose any, unless I missed something.
Well,
No, I don't think I had any.
he didn't. He had 0 sanity left. That's why he's Batman.
Oh no, we're gonna lose Batman. He got his sanity back.
It's true. Batman was a result of the temporary insanity following like Call of Cthulhu rule.
Batman is just sitting there on the cart like, wait a minute. I have a fucking company to run.
His voice just
Why
goes
am
back.
I-
What the fuck am I doing? Jesus
my
Christ.
Right. But so while you guys are whatever you're doing to get ready before you do actually probably how do you guys want to split up watches? I can't remember if you had a set order or
I think we did have a set order. I don't remember it.
I remember I was with Samus.
That's fair. I think you guys were mid.
We were like the middle watch, yeah.
Someone go look
So-
up episode 2 or 3.
Well, Franklin's not here, and I'm pretty sure Berthold stayed up with Franklin because he was really sus.
Right.
Berthold did not trust Franklin, and
So you can
apparently
do-
was proven right.
Yeah, I didn't trust him either. That's why I did stay up with him.
Right.
I stayed
And
up
then-
because I wanted to keep an eye on him so that he
Oh.
didn't steal stuff while people were sleeping.
So, I mean, during all of your watches, because the elves are just going to trance. So you kind of will have
Mhm.
so like if one of you just wanted to take first or last watch, then you'll also have the elves.
Trancing out elves helping, sure.
So we'll just say if you guys keep your order Berthold, you'll just have a watch quote unquote by yourself, and then
Yeah.
Sure.
Interesting.
so while you're doing, I guess, I don't know, we'll just say first watch, I guess. Varric is gonna, yeah, and while the oxen sleep or whatever, Varric's probably just gonna sleep through the night or try to.
I feel like I would
So
kind of
it's
keep a watch on
Yeah, so's
Barrick's
the
tent as
oxen
well,
driver.
because he
Sure.
he disturbs me a little bit, and also I'm a little suspicious because he wouldn't tell me why we're moving all this. Or yeah, something about the item being magical. He was very tight-lipped about it.
So you guys are So while you're doing like the first watch, and so while you're doing that, Yume is going to approach you, after everyone has gone to sleep, and Hide is trancing, although he's probably semi-conscious. I
Yeah,
think
if
that's
you
how their
trans,
trancing works.
you're aware of what's going on.
Hmm.
It's very good.
Hmm. But yeah, so Tim, do you want to do this part?
Sure. Yeah. So she'll kind of like glance at Hide, kind of do that thing where she's like in a trance, and then she kind of pops one eye open and looks at him, and then kind of looks over at Berthold, who I'm assuming is like sitting by the fire or something.
Probably something like that, yeah.
And then she kind of just like scoots over. She's like, "It is. How are you doing this evening?"
Fucking.
I felt better, but
I imagine. So you know that amulet that you showed me the one time?
yes. Yes.
Yeah, that one. Could I see it again?
Sure. I'll take it out and show it to her.
You mind if I hold it for a minute?
I suppose. Go ahead.
She takes it in her hand and she's like, "Wow, this is quite the artifact." And then she grabs your arm and channels magic through you and the amulet, and both of you disappear.
Oh boy.
And Hide's like,
He immediately gets up, goes, "Fuck!"
and you all hear that.
So we make up just to the sound of fuck.
Wow,
I refuse.
I can take him.
And then Hide looks around at all you. "Where did they go? Do you guys know?"
I run over to Varric's tent and I rip the door open and go, "What did you do?"
Where did who go? Where are the other drugs?
"Yume! Where is Yume?" He swears in Japanese.
So,
Barrick like
Oh,
look. Barrick like sits up in his tent and like he has one of those like little sleepy masks on. He's like, "What? What's going on?"
I grab him by the car. Oh, actually, no. I don't actually know what's going on.
Well, Berthold and Yume were the ones on watch. And you had said, "Why are you asking us?"
Jeez.
are there more worms? Were they stolen
I don't
by a
think so.
worm?
Do you remember anything about that one that she was with that could
Blew
be
up?
helpful?
I'm going to kind of run over, or not run over. I'm going to walk over to Hidesugu and talk so that Barrett can't hear, and say, "I remember your princess dabbling in magic with the ethereal plane, getting stuck there for a few days."
And he like
And then-
kind of just
I will
he
walk
kind
back
of
over to
you see him like stiffen a little bit and then like
Hot.
understood. She was dabbling in the ethereal plane, was she?
I
He
think it
swears
was called
again in
something like
Japanese.
that. I don't
He
remember
swears
all these
several
fancy
times in
words.
Japanese. And then he goes, "So you think that is where they went?"
It's the best guess I have, considering I was sleeping at the time.
How do I? And did last time, did it seem like she could move in there and come out in a different place.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't
she was
know.
basically just following us around. Apparently, kind of weird, honestly.
I will come
does-
and join the conversation since Varric is not helpful.
Odd. He is racking his mind. It seems like he's in a crisis. I have to think about this. I don't. How will I carry out my lord's command? How he just kind of sits down, just kind of grabs his head.
Use my head and think.
I mean, Torrid, you've got dragged into this stuff before, right? How'd it go? Torrid? Torrid's still
Also-
asleep.
God damn
I
it, I
guess.
muted myself by accident again. I'm sorry.
Ah!
He was asleep.
I'm so sorry. Yes, at the time she seemed to not really know what she was doing, but I thought I remember her saying she had it under control now. So I think I do remember her moving.
Also, who exactly is this lord that you serve, Pide?
He looks up. The lord of the island. I don't remember what the lord's name was. We'll just say he says the name. I don't remember what it is. It's in the notes. I don't have the notes. I am sitting on my couch.
Real backwards. It
He's
can't be.
The Emperor of the High Elves.
Yes, that is what he's
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah,
Emperor
Tim's
of the High
busy
Elves.
playing Helldivers.
I am not on
Is someone playing
Helldivers.
Helldivers?
I
I
am
don't know,
not
it
on
just-
Helldivers.
It just says he's on his PlayStation.
I'm on my
well,
PlayStation
that-
because I
yeah.
have a headache and I don't want to sit in my chair right now.
Okay, I'm just giving you shit.
That's all that
I
he's
know.
doing.
I just
Actually
wanted to be
don't remember
present.
I don't remember if we
Mhm.
gave the Emperor a name. I think we just called him the Emperor.
Yeah, at this point, he's just the Emperor of the High Elves.
Cusco.
Emperor Cusco. Yes, very Japanese name.
Anyway.
Yes.
Yes, that is his answer. He says, I serve the Emperor, the father of Yume.
Oh, the Emperor.
I must bring her back. It is my duty, and I will carry out my duty.
Yeah, he said duty.
He's gonna seppuku himself.
He's like,
Alright.
I will stay here, at least for a few days, to see if they return. She might try to wait.
If she was following us around before she can see us,
Is there any way to contact her?
Oh,
Didn't we manage to contact her? My
It
impression
was
was that
through
she could just.
Franklin, right?
Franklin used sending.
Oh,
It was through
right.
Franklin.
Right.
I don't think our chances to communicate would increase much if Franklin was around.
Who is Franklin?
You're just better off not knowing. He just kind of abandoned us in the middle of the job.
Oh. He sounds frustrating.
he sounds needy.
Yes.
I will.
Why?
I need to think. So, please tell me if you think of anything to contact her. She's trying to get away to carry out her stupid plan. I don't even.
what's her stupid plan?
I don't know the details. All I know is that I'm supposed to bring her back, and she has some idea that she wants to bring to Borealis, apparently. But she would not tell us. She ran in the night. We've always known that she was hypersensitive to dreams, but we never knew the extent of what she had done. I never knew. I don't know why she's here exactly. All I know, he kind of straightens his shoulders, is that I must bring her back. That is my duty. I will carry it out.
Okay.
I'm going back to sleep.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
Is somebody else going to take the shift other than Hide, who's awake?
Yeah, well,
Hide's not going back to sleep anytime soon.
Yeah.
I guess we can split up, me and Ramvik, and I'll take this watch. And,
okay.
yeah.
We make sure we always have someone with dark vision on watch if we can.
I mean, he's got blind sight.
I don't have dark vision.
And I don't have blind.
Oh yeah, he's blind.
Yeah.
I'll take watch. I keep forgetting.
Okay, so you guys do your watches. We'll go to Berthold and Yume in a second.
Mhm.
But we'll do. You guys get a long rest, all that jazz, and you start to head out in the morning. And like when Varric wakes up or whatever, he like walks out of his tent, like, "Hey, where'd those other two go?"
What other
I
two?
give Varric a glare.
Where are the other party members?
Where are the other party members going?
Why is that one looking at me weird?
That's just his resting, weird
How
face.
did you change your voice?
Okay. Sounds good.
That's a great question, Batman. How would someone change their voice?
It's a mystery.
Uh-huh. Go back to
All right.
sleep, Batman.
All right, I need to use the restroom real quick, so I'll be right back. Tim, if you want to do whatever, feel free. I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right, the party
Let's
finds a cliff and accidentally
transition
careens over.
to Yume and Berthold. I don't mind having the rest of the party know what's going on because, I mean, I'm sure they'll roleplay it properly. So, Berthold, you feel a sinking sensation in your gut and a lot of cold. And then you and Yume are suddenly in the dark. Well, dark, I would say. And then she kind of releases your hand and says, I'm sorry. I had to. I had to get away. I have to deliver my news. He won't let me. He won't let me do anything. I am so sorry I had to do that. He wouldn't let me get away. And she kind of like hands you back the amulet.
I think I understand, yes. He did seem rather aggressive in wanting to take you back.
I will help you to find out which of the drow gave that to your family, if that helps you to resolve something. But I had to use the magical properties of it to escape. I saw them the first time I saw it. It is a teleportation thing of sorts. It's attuned to you, so I had to bring you with me, unfortunately. Or rather fortunately, if... And then she kind of like looks around. I hope we aren't going to find many evils here in this land.
As soon as that sentence ends, roll initiative.
You
are
kind of look
fighting
around.
37 shades.
You see gigantic mushrooms around you.
Oh boy.
Like huge. But they don't seem like it seems like these are like ancient. And although the air is dark, your eyes start to get accustomed to it, and it seemed like there is a few lights from some places in the trees, or rather the mushroom trees, where you are. And she's just kind of like watching you, like seeing how you're reacting to all of this. Will you? I will make a deal with you to help you find who gave you the amulet in exchange for you helping me find the endless stair.
Well, we're here now, so sure.
Cool.
Berthold at
She
this point is very much like, I wasn't expecting this to happen, but what else am I gonna do?
I'm just glad you're not as mad as other people have been. And so she like starts like wandering into the forest, looking around. I don't exactly know where your amulet brought us. I know it's somewhere in the Underdark, but I'm not sure exactly where we are. As soon as Sam gets back, there is an Underdark map that we have. So,
I'm back.
that is where Berthold is right now.
Oh,
Moving back
one
to the
second.
main party.
I have to actually upload this image of the Underdark map.
I think we should have a like we switch off every statement, have a like a player led campaign for a session. I'll be like, you stumble across a forest of mushrooms, and then Gabe is next in line. He makes another.
You stole Gabe's idea.
No, I think that was Sam's idea.
Alright.
A forest. You're gonna have to eat the whole forest to get through this. You realize, right?
I don't think I can eat the whole forest.
But you're gonna have to try. That curse is getting worse and worse.
I did not download this yet. Save.
Wait, did I not?
Save.
Yeah. Greg, we're probably gonna do a little bit more with your character this session. And then there might be a solo session in your future
I see.
with combat. Possibly. Possibly. Depending on what your actions are.
Alright.
And one of us cameo.
Here is Underdark. Where did
I made
they
it a
spawn
little
in?
bit more. Yeah. They're in Mushroom Forest, furthest away from the desert.
Which one's the desert? The dark brown or the light brown? I see.
I assume that's where I should be.
I don't know, man. I'm
Wow,
sorry.
Berthold is
I'm
fucking massive.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. That is where you are now. Although you really don't have a map of the region.
Nope, I assume not.
Yeah. So, going back to the main party, Sam.
So, yeah. Well, one thing I was gonna also, yeah, okay. I guess I missed a little bit of dialogue, but I think would. Okay, we'll go back to the party. I'll just message you a question real quick, Tim, and then.
All right, let me get up. Whoa.
answer that whenever you get a second. So,
Hello?
so the rest of you, as you have breakfast or whatever, and then start. Are you guys just gonna keep heading north?
Sure,
I
we're
figured we
still
would.
have a deal to deliver Varric, and as far as we know, you might just pop out of the ether
And follow us
in
until
15
then.
minutes from now.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah. So you guys are traveling up. So we don't have a map of the place you guys are currently at, Borealis, yet. We have like half a map, but so basically um there's massive mountain range that goes north, and the capital city is kind of on, basically, like built into the side of this giant mountain that's like in the middle of the range. To the southeast of that there's like a valley at the like, so basically the mountains also kind of extend east and west from where you guys are at, so you guys got to go up into the mountains and then down into this valley to the east, and then go through the valley up over another little range and then towards the wall, which is to the east. So you're basically cutting through the bottom, like the southeast corner of Borealis, to go straight to the Dragon Wall, Defender City. So yeah. Second, I have to get my bearings here. Okay, cool. All right, thanks for that tip. Yeah, so you guys are going through the mountain. While you guys are traveling, I guess I'll just do this because it's gonna be like going down, and you have to go up the mountains and then down into the valley, and like that's gonna be like down through the valley is gonna be like most of, to the other side of the valley, it's gonna be most of the trip. So like that extra half a week is just going over that extra hump of mountains to get to the Defender City. So while you guys are traveling, is there anything specifically you want to ask Varric?
Is teleportation real?
Well, I mean, I've heard that there is teleportation magic that they use in Defender City. Although I'm not sure what the scope and capability of it is. We thought that it would be a good idea, but it's we haven't really tacked down a feasible way to do it without magic. Other than like, I mean, I guess if you put something in like a trebuchet and launched it, that's a form of teleportation.
Is
Although
it?
most things don't
That's a form
really.
of transportation.
Yes. Well, yeah, that is a bad joke. But I suppose to answer, I guess the simple answer to your question is yes, it is possible, but not through non-magical means.
It seems like that would make magic users hard to kill.
Well, I don't think that just everybody that can use magic can just use every type of magic. It's kind of a complicated process if you really think about, like, I mean,
Yeah, but like, if you're trying to kill someone and they can teleport, how do you know where they went?
Right. It's yeah. No, I mean that is a great question. If it would be great for probably getting in or out of places or heaven forbid like like an assassination. Just walk in and stab some guy and then you just whoop.
So you
Hmm.
so you don't have like a teleportation detector.
No.
Hmm.
Does Ramvik
I mean,
remember that the Duke's son used a teleportation type spell to get away?
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like if you have to ask,
No.
What about the rest of the party?
Who's the Duke's son?
The bastard that
Yeah.
we killed, who was a
I've
necromancer.
never killed anyone in my life, slanderer.
isn't a duke what goes in the toilet?
Samus is turning around and going home.
For some reason, this is the last straw.
All
great.
right.
Um,
Yeah, probably Samus remembers, but also isn't really concerned about it.
I want to interrogate Varric on what exactly we are taking.
Uh, yeah. So
The
sure.
cart.
I'm glad you asked.
3 weeks later. Eric, we've been there for so long.
We've been here for a week and a half.
Well, and here
Let
and
us
there,
off the cart.
I want to try and point out, like, if it seems magical or of any kind, I want to, like, keep poking him to bring out the fact that he's okay with magic and that this has to do with whatever the fuck was on that blueprint. We have, like, half a week or something. No, we have
Sure.
longer than that.
Week and a half.
I'll wear him down.
Give me persuasion with advantage.
Does it have to be persuasion or can it be intimidation?
I guess if you want to just
Are you being
straight up
persuading or intimidating here?
I did
If you're
say
trying to-
interrogate.
Okay, if you're literally trying to interrogate
If you are literally trying to interrogate our employer,
I mean, I'm
might
not
have
throwing him
choice words
against.
for you.
On the one hand, I'm not throwing him against every boulder we come across, but I'm also not trying to be like
nice
coy about it.
Okay.
Like I'm trying to use my my intimidating Batman form to get out the information I need, just like I would with anyone, with any criminal.
Are you saying he's a criminal?
No, but like I would with any criminal, I employ those same aggressive negotiation tactics.
So, go ahead. You can give intimidation with advantage if you're just gonna grill him for a week and a
Yes.
half on things. So he starts off so I'll do a progression of information that he divulges. So he'll start off like the first time you guys like ask or whatever as you're going this. He's like, yeah. So this is a prototype power generator thing. That's the layman term. But so you know those towers that we have in Black Veil? I'm sure you saw them in the cities. The like things that kind of like negate magic. So what we did is what I'm trying to do is basically create something like that, but on a bigger power scale, but a reverse thing. So something that can absorb magic and turn it into power for machines or whatever we need. You could power like water wheels and like things like that. With this thing, or what? Not water wheels. Water wheels use water. You know what I mean. You having a power source that you can use for whatever we need. So what I'm doing is taking this prototype to the wall to show Ryu to prove that, hey, this is a possible thing through our technological means that we can do to help Defender City defend, essentially. If whatever the heck, is attacking on the other side of the wall, whatever things are out there, if that force or what, things slamming into the wall, if that energy can be absorbed and then put somewhere else, perhaps it could be, turned into like charged artillery so that we can keep, fighting the good fight. And that's like kind of what he said. And essentially, he eventually, as you like grind, like,
Well, because I was about to respond, like,
sure, go ahead.
And that blueprint, that blueprint on your desk that I found during our first meeting, that clearly was also defensive, I'm sure.
Yes, that is the blueprint for this thing.
oh, okay. At least he admit. I don't think that he ever came out and said that, so I wanted to be sure. But yes.
But
Okay,
eventually,
continue.
he basically will, after you, grill him enough, he'll be like, fine. And he'll just kind of be like, so essentially, yes, this device has some magical components to it. Ooh. But I understand the taboo of things like that. However, if they are put into the right hands, I believe, like at Defender City, that's where we send all of our magic users anyways. If it can be used there to help defend the realm, then I think it's a good use of magic. So, and it kind of goes into a little more detail where he's like, basically, where you plant one of these things within a radius of it, it can like absorb, like he said, like energy or magic. So like if things are using magic in the vicinity of it, it absorbs the magic into the object. And then he's like, talks about like, okay, so what we need to do is we have this as a prototype, but if it works to the capacity we want it to make it work to, we need to essentially, I need to build essentially a reactor that can, I could build one of these and channel that energy, we'll just say channeling the magic into this reactor that can then output that magic to a purpose that we want. Like, like I said, have it power an artillery that shoots
Mm-hmm.
magical whatever out of the artillery, and then it can destroy the things on the other side of the wall.
Mm-hmm.
It's something I've been working on for a while, and we want to take this to the wall, prove that it works, and then, if they're willing, use some of their resources to create these so that they go enough of these so that they are at different points down along the wall, so that the entire wall over time, I mean, it's going to be like years, probably, but eventually we'll have it, and we can eventually effectively make a quote-unquote shield down the entire wall to stop whatever's on the other side. And perhaps that will stop having to send so many of our resources to the wall.
And this is the only time that you or Blackveil has ever utilized magic for defensive purposes.
I mean,
Sure.
Sure.
Can I roll an insight check on that? Sure.
I mean, Black Veil's older than I am, but I can't imagine, maybe like way back in the day, but I can't imagine any time in the last few centuries they've used magic as a form of warfare. Because it's been outlawed for like 1,000 years or something like that. I don't know.
Hmm. All right.
That might be
I
a
will-
slight exaggeration. I don't know.
I'll ease off, I guess. I will ease off with my intimidation to show that I believe him, but I will give him a glare. Unlike all the other times that I have ever known him, I've clearly not glared.
Is glaring not your normal state of being?
No, that was the joke.
Oh, okay. Got it. I just wanted to make sure I was in on the joke or something.
Yes, you are.
Good,
You
good,
asked the right question.
good.
And also while you're traveling, in between your interrogation sessions or whatever, like as you guys camp and stuff, he will just ask you guys about your lives if you so decide to indulge that information to him.
I'll be vague because I don't want to
Sure.
be like my father Martha Wayne and my mother Thomas Wayne. They got shot by a crossbow
what?
in
My
a
parents
hallway or
died
something.
in an alley, and now it's
I think
everyone
you
else's
flipped those.
problem.
Nope.
Nope.
Their parents
Martha
just
is
like
a
those names.
Martha the
hardy-
father,
Martha
Yeah.
is
and
a hardy
Thomas the
man.
mother.
Martha is
Yeah.
a hardy man's name.
Yes. That don't need no woman.
But he's married, or he was before he died.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna go into details. I'll say based on I had a changing point in my life where I realized that the evil, the injustice, it is all around us, and it is up to us whether we decide to fight back or not.
Fuck necromancy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fuck necromancy.
Yeah.
I think that's called necrophilia.
I glare at Varric.
Is there a difference in how immoral necrophilia is if the target can consent?
I guess so. At that
On
point, it's
other
like
related
weird,
news,
but-
I know this. I almost could see that coming out of Ramvik's mouth.
It just did.
Okay.
I feel like their consent doesn't work though. It's like they're
You don't think
undead.
vampires can agree to fucking?
Oh, that's true. I was thinking of like a zombie. I don't know how informed that consent.
yeah, maybe a zombie couldn't consent, but like as long as they had an intelligence score that like meant that they're still sentient,
Right.
theoretically they could consent.
You
You're
know,
right, you're right.
Werewolves' bestiality.
Depends on the
Ask
time of
the
day.
furry.
It's their
Have you
full
played
moon.
Baldur's Gate 3?
Ravik has not.
Because werewolves are not the first of mind there for me for concerns about that particular topic.
I
Did
mean,
you
would an
choose the
Aarakocra
bear?
or
No, I
Or-
just
or
know that
tabaxi,
the
would
bear
that be?
exists.
Oh.
Yeah, Halson. You can sleep
Yep.
with while he's a bear.
like would an Aarakocra or a tabaxi be bestiality? No.
I don't consider it bestiality.
Well, thank you,
Eric's just
Rabbit.
like, you guys
it's
are
called
gross.
being a furry. Okay.
I asked about your childhood. I was like, so what's been up?
You guys don't go to therapy a lot, do you? You get
What's
a lot
a
of work out
therapy?
of
Therapy.
They need money for that.
That's fair, I guess. Good point. Good point. Anyway, so yeah. If anyone else wants to divulge their, tragic backstory, then feel free. But as you guys are,
my time
Sure.
in the
I mostly
mine.
just try to make Samus happy all the time, which seems to
Right.
involve a lot of stabbing.
What's a
Which
pump for
Rampic
good work?
fails at constantly.
I'll try to teach him some old shanties we used to sing while in the mines.
nice. He's
Nice.
actually super interested in your time in the Underdark. Because that's where, like, the mithril comes from, and he's like, that is fascinating. I've never been down there myself, but I've always wanted to know kind of like what the ecosystem and stuff is like down there, because, it's got to be pretty tough for, enhanced minerals and stuff like that to grow. Whatever.
It is. I was never in any expeditions that went too deep, though, so I never got to see too much of that stuff. But I have heard stories.
But yeah, he will basically any of that information he'll ask you about and be like, so, and he's also really interested in, like, just kind of the system you guys use to, like the mechanics behind, like, the lock system to bring up, like, the barges and stuff like that. He's super into, like, all of that engineering stuff. So anything like that, he's, like, really just wants to, like, talk your ear off about anything about that. He finds it super fascinating.
I'll
Yeah.
explain what I can, but
Sure.
Oh,
most of it.
how long during this time? I'm gonna say Yume will ask Berthold if he wants to send a message to his companions through a dream. That will happen.
Probably should let them know. Yes.
Which one do you want Yume to go to in a dream?
Me.
Hidesugu.
Hey. Oh, pick
Not-
Hidesugu.
not
Hey.
Hide.
Here. I'm good at listening.
Greg, which one was it? I didn't hear you.
I said definitely not Hide.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Torrid, actually.
Pick me.
Torrid. Oh, okay.
Because I think Torrid is gonna have the least extreme reaction.
Okay,
That's
so
true.
basically what Yume does is when you're both asleep, she kind of like yanks you into dreaming and shows you Torrid's dream, and you just kind of enter the dream and can talk to Torrid while he's dreaming. Torrid
that
is
episode
dreaming
of
about... Torrid is having a stress dream about being back in the mines with his friends. Quote unquote.
Well,
Is it us? Are we in the mines with Torrid?
I think weirdly Samus and Batman are in the mines, like with pickaxes, and it doesn't make any sense.
That's how dreams work.
That's yeah.
Oh, I figured Samus because Metroid reference and Batman because Bat.
But yeah, they're both in the mines with Torrid, and then Berthold is suddenly there. All right.
hey Torrid, can you let the rest of the crew know, except Hide, that I am kind of not following you guys around like you might potentially assume? Whatever happened to you with the ethereal plane or whatever is not what's happening here. I'll try and make my way back, but we'll see. I have no clue where I am other than it may or may not be the Underdark.
I'll be sure to tell him that. I say as I hand him a pickaxe and tell him to get back to work.
As we
Yeah,
are,
he might not remember this. Also, how dreams work.
That's amazing. Yes, so there's that little interaction. So the next, like, morning, like toward like it's one of those things where that happens or whatever, and it's like one of those dreams where it's like you get that sensation of like it's where you're like you guys are working in the mines, and then like
Part of it
like
just
a
seems way
cave-in.
more real than the rest, or something.
Yeah, but it seemed like you feel very lucid, but then it's one of those things where it's like it ends and it's like you feel like there's like a cave-in starting to happen, and then you like jolt awake or whatever. And it's whoever is waking you up for your watch is like shaking you awake.
Alright, well, I mean, I've
Wake
been
up.
with everyone enough, so I probably would recognize that as a potential thing to tell everyone. So I probably would say, like, I think Berthold did somehow contact me in my dream. I'm not sure if her and Yume are not able to follow us. They can't see us. They don't know what. I don't know where they're at, but they're not following us like last time.
So does this mean that we need to turn back, or?
Are you sure it was real? Ramvik was not there.
How do you know that?
Oh no, I'm here
What the
now. Does that mean
fuck?
this isn't real?
Is this the dream realm?
Oh no, then he wakes up again.
So dream in a dream.
Chakras! Chakras!
He turns around and he has Goku's face.
You should do whatever feels right.
Yes.
Hookers and blow?
So yeah. Did Hide follow them, or did he decide to stay back?
Oh
still?
shit! Yeah, I don't know you did.
Just a question. I don't remember what the if he's committed to just waiting back like for a bit at the spot where they disappeared, or if he was gonna come with you guys.
I remember we told him that probably won't do anything, but I don't know if he responded to that.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So, yeah, Hide did kind of... I think Hide did come with you guys. Since you said to him before that she followed you.
So I mean, I guess
Okay.
if you want to, in hushed whispers or whatever, say it so that he doesn't hear.
Crinkle paper next to when you're talking so he can't hear you.
Perfect. He'll never know.
What are you
No,
guys
it's fine,
doing?
guys. Blind
Don't
people
worry
need
about it.
line of sight. Don't worry about it. Blind people need line of sight to hear you.
What?
That... Okay. That is a sentence.
He's getting them confused with deaf people.
No, with Gabe's comment of Rambic is just hallucination of Taurus. This is where we reveal that he actually just tripped on mushrooms down in the Underdark, and this entire thing has been a dream.
Oh. I was going for Torrid's affected enough to be two barbarians, and we just don't tell him about it, because then he might be only one person.
Would that not be awesome though? Like if you told him like he woke up and then all of us completely changed characters. He's just in an entirely different party. We didn't tell Tommy about this at all.
He just wakes up one day and we're all playing dwarves and we're in and we're like, yeah, we're almost done with our mining mission.
Yes, exactly.
Sam just has a whole false last time on D&D prepared.
Yeah. Amazing.
That
Oh, that would be awesome. Okay. So, yeah, so you guys, I say real quick, we'll cut back over to Berthold and Yume.
Yeah. Okay. So
Try not to be too.
this is after you guys have. So did we say that? What is Hide doing? I'm sorry. I was
Apparently, he's
distracted.
following us to the wall because he thinks that Yume might show up.
Okay, and you guys didn't let Hide know.
He knew she was going to Borealis, right? So if there's
Yeah,
a point
he
where, if there's a point where he might just, if there's like a fork in the road, he might just continue north towards.
There is absolutely going to be a fork in the road.
So
Because
whenever you guys get to that,
originally,
so probably like halfway through your journey here, he's probably going to be like, I think I know she's probably going to the capital here in Borealis. So I'm going to basically take the risk and just go north to the capital and see if she's there, or I can wait for her there wherever she ended up.
and Varric goes, "Can you guys protect me without him?"
Yes. Yes. Well, it'll work out.
Did he do
Okay.
anything to the worms?
He did.
He did.
I'm pretty
He
sure it was
killed-
fall damage.
He killed like half the methods and did some damage to the worm because he kept kill stealing.
Kill Steel Master.
We don't need a dirty kill stealer on the team.
I'm not apologizing.
Why take?
But yeah, so he'll kind of diverge towards the capital Borealis. Switching back over to Berthold and Yume, you guys spend a couple nights kind of she actually seems like very confident in your skills as like a your awareness and perception. So she's kind of letting you take the lead on scouting around. She says that there are some things she can do to help, like she says she has a way to walk on the wind. But she doesn't know which direction to go, so we need to figure that out first.
Oh boy.
While you guys are traveling through the forest, the mushroom forest, you do come across the little myconid colony. So like, as you kind of come around a bend, you see like these big mushrooms that look like, they've been hollowed out and stuff like that. It's like a little village made in these giant mushrooms, and you see these mushroom people walking around.
Thankfully, Ramvik isn't here.
Women and children too. Thank you. But yes. So that is a little thing, and Yume seems very excited. So honestly, as you guys kind of stumble across this village, she's probably like, "Oh!" And she like runs over to them and starts like, she starts talking to them in like a couple different languages, and then they don't seem to understand her, and then she's
She summons the cat, and they like the cat.
I was gonna see, does speak with plants work on myconids? I guess myconids aren't. I guess technically, mushrooms aren't plants, right? Because they're
they kind of are.
They're fun guy.
They're fungi.
They're very
Fun
exclusively
guys.
not plants.
Okay.
Mushrooms are not plants, I should say.
Myconids are a magical animal,
they're mushroom people.
humanoid.
It would work on
Sentient
like a
race.
treant. But
Yeah.
mushrooms aren't plants.
Yeah, they're just not.
What do myconids have as?
She tries writing to communicate in High Elvish, Wood Elvish, and Drow, because she is fluent in all three.
They might pick up a word or two of Drow, but probably not like
Oh,
be able to speak.
Sorry.
it.
mushrooms
Oh,
are not
they are
plants,
type.
but the
Mi-
monster manual has myconids classified as medium plant.
Aha! Okay, so she can
So
use
she
talk.
can absolutely
She
talk
can
to them.
she can cast talk with plants and then talk to the myconids.
I think the person who wrote the manual is wrong.
I mean,
Yes.
yes, but
But we are
You're
playing their
supposed to
game.
yes and.
yeah, just because D&D
Yes,
is not a
but
physics simulator, just because it's wrong doesn't mean that's not how it works.
That's true. But yeah. So yeah, she talks to the myconids and basically, you know, essentially gets some kind of like general directions of where the Drow live, if that's where you guys are headed. Specifically the Queen or whatever. And yeah, you know, they're whatever they say basically. So if you come out of this forest, there's a little river that goes north. So you follow the river north, and then that'll eventually get you to a road, and just keep following the road north, and you'll eventually get to the capital, or whatever, the Drow stronghold thing. But yes, so yeah, so they do that. As you guys continue, yeah, so I'm gonna say that your journey's probably gonna take maybe a little less time than the parties to get there. But yeah, so it's gonna be probably like, you know, a few days travel at least. But yeah, as you guys travel north, it is like this place isn't like it's kind of dangerous down here. Like there's lots of like, you know, random like, you know, pitfalls and cliffs, and you know, it's all underground, so it's like dark, and all this stuff. But there's plenty of mushrooms to eat. Just like your cravings.
Your cursed cravings, yes.
Yes. But you have one close encounter with a boulet. That basically, as you guys are walking, you feel kind of the earth tremble, and as part of that, as kind of a reactionary thing, Yume seems to cast some sort of spell that seems to make you weightless and allows you to kind of drift through the air a bit, and basically she just kind of keeps the boulet suspended while you guys run away. And then so basically I want you guys to get there, but not without the a sense of, okay, it was actually a really kind of dangerous, harrowing journey to take walking through the Underdark for a week. But you're able to get there. And as you kind of approach, so two things you notice. I think, actually, real quick, asking Tim a question.
I'll get up.
All right.
Oy.
But yeah, so kind of like, it's really interesting because the architecture here, like a lot of it, it seems like the way it's built is it's almost built from the ceiling, and it extends down. Almost like it's carved out of the earth, which is above you. So like the spires and stuff like that kind of point down. So as you as you come up to this kind of like this keep of like black stone, and it kind of has like this bullish black hue to it. Basically there's like this kind of road that goes up, and on either side there's like chasms, and it kind of goes up to like the center of this palace, and the palace is like suspended upside down from the cavern ceiling or whatever, like it was carved out of like massive stalactites. And basically as you guys kind of get halfway across a bridge essentially that goes there, like you hear someone shout something in Drow, and Yume kind of perks up and says like, "Oh, hello. My name," like you can see kind of down the bridge there's like a group of like half a dozen like armed Drow just like on the other side of the bridge, like with looks of both like why are you here, like suspiciously, but also looks of bewilderment, like how are you here?
Also, I was gonna say, you may ask you if you want to learn a little bit of Drow, if you can. I don't know what your language skill is like for your character. I don't know if that is a skill.
Nope.
Like a passive skill, but
I do not have that as one of my skills, which is not that surprising, or one of my known languages.
So she was going to teach you like a little bit so that you can kind of pick up something if you wanted to, like at campsites and stuff.
I would definitely appreciate that so that I have a little bit to go off of if we get separated.
Sure, like give you a 101 crash course of Drow.
Yeah, she tries to teach you how it like works and everything. Maybe you can get a roll to see how well you pick up her teachings, because you are out for like a while. So
would it be a straight intelligence roll,
probably,
or would it be like? I guess you could argue history.
Whichever one you want to do, history or intelligence.
Well, they both use intelligence. History uses intelligence, but
history is just like a specific skill, which I do have proficiency in.
Yeah.
So
I'd say you could roll history, see how much you retain. Okay, so
that's a 19.
Pick up on it pretty well.
I would still click on this to manage why. Yeah. I pick up reasonably well. I'm curious.
You can
about
understand Drow, but you can't speak it very well.
That sounds right.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, it's mostly like she teaches you like the alphabet, and like this is how you count to 10, and like how you say hello. Stuff you'd learn in a 101 class. Like the first week of a 101 class, that's basically what you would learn. So
Bless you.
so you approach or whatever, and she speaks up, and she like does like a bow or whatever, and says, my name is Yume. Princess of the High Elves. I have come with my friend here. And she like,
Do you not know your name?
no, she like motions to you to like allow you to introduce yourself.
In not very good drow, I say, "Hi, I'm Berthold."
The cheese is moldy.
And she says, "We come bearing a relic that I believe, belongs or belonged to someone of high esteem in your society." And one of the drow, like they whisper something to each other, and then one of them says, "Approach."
I guess we're walking up.
You walk up or whatever, and then they say, as you guys get about 10 feet away or whatever, and then they put their hand on and say, "Show us this relic."
I show them my necklace.
They kind of squint and whisper to each other, and one of them kind of walks up a little bit closer to look at it. And then it's gets kind of a look of as pale as a drow could look. It's and then turns around and whispers something to the rest of the group, and they're like, "Please come with it." They're like, "Please come with us." So yes. So you guys are led into the drow capital. It's kind of this winding. It's a weird combination of a series of winding tunnels, but also immensely spacious cavernous areas that are all comprised of these giant hanging stalactites and things like that, with stonework and buildings and stuff carved into them. It's really fascinating. But eventually they basically just bring you up. Both of you get a lot of really weird looks because
You're
from
let
around
me be
here.
clear. You're in a city of immortal beings that have been here a really long time, at peace for a really long time. And there's a lot of art. And a lot of learning that is going on here. And that is the impression that you're going to get by walking through the streets.
and as you can also see that as you get up to the kind of to the tower, you can also see kind of way off in the distance, there's what almost seems like back behind the palace is almost like this trench that just seems to go down into nothingness. And then it's kind of foreboding, but you eventually get, and they basically bring you to
it's like a huge, it obviously is a palace. It's like a sprawling, almost like a cathedral.
that'd be a good description.
You feel it makes you feel like there is something extremely, the drow race is extremely powerful to have crafted this. It looks awesome. You come in to the building, and it's very. The room that you enter is huge. In this entryway, the grand hall of this palace, because this is where the queen is. Do you want to do this part, Sam? You seem like you want to do this part. Okay.
Yeah. So another thing, as you guys are coming up or to it, as you get closer and closer to the throne room, you see at the art and stuff has, changed from like general art and stuff like that to like statues of like, almost like what they might pose as like who you think is maybe their deity, because there's a lot of people with like robes and stuff around these things like that. And as you get closer, you see like, there's more and more like who you would consider clergy, maybe, as you get closer. So like this throne room also seems like Tim said, like a sanctuary of some kind. So yeah, as you approach, the main thing you see as you walk into this room is the floor is like this, made out of like this black glass that's like super reflective, so like you can look down and see like your reflection as you're like walking across it. And it mirrors the ceiling. So like the top of the ceiling, and it's really interesting because when you look down too, the ceiling is almost like a giant like geode. So there's like crystals and stuff in the ceiling. So when you look down, the crystals and stuff reflecting, it almost gives like a hall of like mirrors effect. And in like kind of near the center back of the room, you see there's this throne that seems to be comprised out of like what was once the torso, and maybe like the legs have like been like curled up into like the back of a throne, and it looks almost what looks like be like the carcass of, or like a fossilized carcass of a giant spider that has like the limbs and stuff, and it's basically been like turned into this throne. And you see sitting on the throne is a drow woman who is sitting there, and you see that her likeness is identical to the statues that are outside. Like down to like even like the clothing, that she's wearing and things like that. And as you approach her, whatever, like, at some point, as you're like a bit of a way, you hear "Stop," and like the people who are with you just stop and just set their weapons down.
I
She
will
says-
stop with them.
Yep. She
You want me to
says,
do this?
"Yeah, if you have a thing
Yeah,
ready to go."
Yeah.
So the woman stands up. She kind of looks. She says a quick line in Drow to the guards. Why have you brought this one to me? The guard kind of like looks up and goes, he has a relic that was imbued with your magic, my queen. And he bows immediately again. She goes, indeed.
Oh, also,
She
actually,
switches. Okay, what's up?
most of the guards are probably women,
Yeah,
because drow.
that makes sense. And so she kind of looks over at Berthold and switches to common and says, indeed. So, you have something that maybe I have had some hand in, do you? She kind of walks over to him and like looks him up and down. Honey, I don't remember you. Who are you?
I am Berthold Umber.
Berthold Umber. I can't remember. Is your clan Umber?
Uh,
I think that's your
On-
father's name, right?
yes. I will say my mother was of the Lunamel clan.
Lunamel. Ah. So
This
that's
is
the difference.
my last physical memory of her.
Do you show her the amulet?
Yeah.
And she takes it in her hand, kind of lifts it up. She grows she seems to grow vacant of face for a moment. Like she's concentrating. And it lasts longer than you think it will. And then she kind of comes back to herself and goes, "Sorry." And kind of like rolls her shoulders a little bit. I got distracted for a second. And then she like looks up back at the thing, the amulet. "Yes, I remember. I gave this to your mother."
That's not correct.
Or
I'm taking
sorry,
over.
it was fucking her.
Excuse
I
me?
can't remember.
Oh my!
Oh my!
Oh my.
Ah, yes,
Sorry.
I remember.
I
She was
remember
in
the
I
fucking.
remember
and then
now.
she stole this
I'm
from me.
commandeering the.
Yeah, because we had notes on this, and I messed up because I knew it had. Never mind. Go ahead, Sam.
So she basically as she like has that look of vacant face, she almost has like a look of like sorrowful regret also. And she says, and then she turns to you and says, "If this was your mother's, then that means you must be one of his descendants."
Oh yeah, that's right.
And you know, you see,
Give me a break. I made this lore like 6 months ago.
yeah, I know. She says, "You see, in a long, long time ago, before I become queen, I knew a human man. And we, well, let's just say our love was forbidden. And he was the heir to the human kingdom's throne. But when they found out about his escapades, he was stripped of his title, banished to some lower land, and then I and yes, we fortunately never met again. Well, we were able to. I procured this amulet so that he could visit me from time to time. So you see, it seems that he, obviously, at some point after his banishment, had to keep face and start a family and what. So I assume his line descended to you, and with that, this heirloom. Which would, I suppose, if you go back far enough in history, would make you the rightful heir to the throne of man.
Berthold is processing this.
Wait a second, but I'm a man too.
She gets another vacant look in her face, and the guards kind of like pull away from her, and she's just like, after a second, she kind of like looks back, and then in quick drow, she says to the guards, "There has been another breach. I must leave. Tend to him well, set him up in some rooms, and I will be back later to see to him." She says, "I'm sorry," in common. "I'm sorry. I must leave. I will see you later."
and then with ungodly speed.
Oh wait, real quick. She also, before she does that, she, like, right before she breaks, she turns and looks at you again, and she says, "I can sense an affliction upon your person."
Oh yeah, I forgot. Sorry. Thank you for that.
And she basically walks up to you and, like, she basically just, like, puts a hand, like, in the center of your chest or whatever and says something, and you feel like this surge rush through, and you retch, and, like, this, all of, like, this, like, gunk stuff just kind of comes out or whatever, and then she as this gunk stuff's laying there on the ground, she extends a hand down, and this purple fire comes out and just incinerates it, and then she says, "You have been cured." And then she turns away and just goes somewhere.
It seems like she phases out of existence. It's pretty incredible to watch.
And you no longer feel a strong mushroom.
In fact, there might be some revulsion now.
And
Like
thankfully, I have a new mask now to stop that happening again.
Yes. So, with that being there to process, we'll leave that hanging there, and we'll cut back to the rest of the group.
These
mushrooms
mushrooms
are
are
so
so fucking good.
One of you has been cured.
Yes. As you guys are coming down, so you gotta get to the part where you're going through the valley, and as you're coming down the mountains, it's like a really heavy snowfall. And Varric's like, "Guys, we just gotta push through, because when we get down into the valley, it won't be as cold, and all this snow will just kind of rain or whatever." So you guys push through. You're a little tired from the excursion, but it's not quite exhaustion. You're just a little tired. As you guys are getting down, so yeah, you get down into this valley, and it's just so as you were up, so two things. As you were up on the top of the cliff, you look down into this valley, and it's this, like, really nice green valley. Few trees spread out, and then you can see in the landscape there's kind of like hills, and you see that there are like two caves that are kind of like
in the far distance.
Yeah.
In
the distance, so like maybe like 3/4 of the way through the valley or.
And I do want people to roll perception at this point.
Yes. As you guys are walking through this valley in this torrential downpour.
Not my best roll.
I'm gonna roll for Varric.
You said a perception roll?
Yeah,
Yes,
perception.
This is what happens
Is
when
this
we
with
give our
advantage?
viewer to hell.
So, Ramvik and Tommy.
That is not who I was expecting.
Yeah.
He has a bird's eye view.
There you go.
Sorry.
I'll just say basically probably the points that you guys are at the cart, maybe you were just at advantageous spots. But
I'm riding a
as
horse.
You're riding a horse, yeah. So you're probably in front, I presume. So you and Torrid, as this torrential rain, like, it's hard to see through the rain, but two things happen. One, as you guys are going, you hear like this kind of these like weird like guttural echoes coming from the directions of the caves, from like this weird, these weird sounds as like through the rain. Like, it's really hard to hear over, but you can just like make it out. And Ramvik, as you are up there with your horse, your armor starts to feel warm. And
Does Ramvik have armor?
Yeah.
he has the...
I have demon hide leather armor, yeah.
Oh, right.
Which
And you feel them be demons a-coming.
jump off it.
Do you go to the kitchen?
He turned into a robot there for a second.
He said he
We-
dismounts his horse, slaps it on the ass.
I heard that.
I turned the horse one first. So it's running backwards. And then start running to the caves.
I'm sorry, Gabe, you cutting out like crazy for me.
Maybe he's far away and hard to hear.
It's very loudly. And charge the caves.
Sure. So the rest of you probably hear Ramvik yelling demons as his demons is getting quieter, as if he's moving away from you. Torrid, you see,
I pull out my weapon.
guys, you see this, and then as basically the rest of you see Ramvik's horse like sprint past you all, past the cart, going back behind you guys. We will.
There it goes. Oh shit! Save the stuff. I'm leaving. You guys go ahead.
I
There
start
it goes. Turn the
charging.
cart around. Turn it around.
Turn it around.
And that is where we will pick up next time on D&D.
When I hear Ramvik yell demons, I start charging my laser.